dreams are weird. They've been weird. I'm gonna try to list some of these off. And comment down below, what's the weirdest dream, if you feel like sharing, that you've had during this time, because I don't even, like, you know when like some of your dreams, you have them and you're like, okay. And you can kind of tell from times you're like, oh, that's from because that was the media I was consuming right before I went to bed. And other times it's like, well, that was weird, but that seems like a message or a thing I could piece together. That seems like more a spiritual connection type of dream. Solid. And then there's the other, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't, what? And a lot of mine have been that lately. Another thing too is I don't ever really remember dreams. When I dream and remember, it is very significant for me. When I do keep a dream journal, it's about maybe 6, 7 dreams a year, nothing more beyond that. And along with that, many of them become recurring. So they won't be new. It'll be like, oh, I have the same over and over and over and over again. I return to a lot of dreams. So for me to have literally had 12 dreams that are very distinctly different with very different tones, and I'll have them be slightly memorable. Like there's foggies on the edges, but like overall memorable, that is a something. And probably a bit of the stress induced, and probably a bit of the weird energy and tension that's going on right now, but you know what, we're still gonna talk about it because that's what we do. Dream number 1 was before even I think the reality of this pandemic had really hit the United States. It was very odd because it was so primal in feeling. It was very enclosed, as if like I was surrounded, and had a weird, again, that weird primal energy. It was very instinctual, you know, it reeked of things like hunger, sex, you know, that weird, the baser urges vibes were all coming up, and it was just me laying in this weird like hay stack field thing, and I could tell there were torches burning around, and then something was breathing very loudly all around me. Like it was like, from all perspectives, it should have been something here, like right over my face, with breath hitting my face, and I could hear it and feel it on the perimeter of my body, but I couldn't feel it anywhere on the front. And the entire dream was just me sitting there listening to this heavy breathing and hearing this weird drumming heartbeat, more like, around. In some respects, I guess it could be very womb-like, but I very distinctly felt the feeling of being in like this weird farm, this weird ritual-esque. But I didn't feel like the center of the ritual. If anything, I felt very much like a side piece, like just meh, over there. You just, you're one ingredient to the major thing going on here. And that was the entirety of the dream. And I woke up and it wasn't terrifying or scary or any sort of weird base emotion, just very like, huh. That's a weird place to wake out of. The second dream that followed it the next night was I was walking around in this park that is near my side of town in Portland with a friend. And suddenly there was this huge urge that these more devout, how to put this, more conservative leaning, harsh, religious folk of multitudes, because it wasn't just like really fundamentalist Christians, or, you know, it was like a bunch of fundamentalists of all different faiths, and it was like they were like all coming, but with the feeling was they're coming with the pitchforks to burn us down, but there were no pitchforks, and it was the middle of the day. Like, it wasn't very ominous, but that energy was there. And I suddenly felt extremely worried for my friend, and I turned to them and was like, we need to get you out of here because they're gonna know about you, which was weird. And they were acting very nonchalant, like it was no big deal. And I didn't recognize this friend. It wasn't like, oh, a face that I can pull from like this current reality I'm operating in. It was very odd. And they seemed very nonchalant, and it wasn't a big deal. And then as I was like, no, we need to move, they're going to hurt you, there was some horn god shit happening, where it was just like, hello, sir, can I help you? Like, we still need to get you out of here. and the person just kept switching from someone who was very humanesque appearing to a constant switch of animal forms and bodies, and very just something that I would consider highly like pagan god-esque, but was like, I was more concerned less with the changing of the thing and more of like, yes, this right here is why those people are going to have a problem with you. We need to get you out of here. And it was this constant stress of that happening. And I woke up feeling that stress, feeling that, oh, I gotta, they weren't listening. Like, you gotta move, you gotta get out of here. This scary mob is coming. And that was dream number 2. Dream number 3 was a mix of media that I was consuming at the time. I was rewatching some old shows from high school that I used to indulge in, and it was a weird mix of characters, and the characters were all ones that, like, you know, when you watch a show and there's a favorite in the beginning, there's the one you grow to love and you're like, actually no, you're my favorite, and they're the ones that slowly over time just annoy the crap out of you, and every moment they are on the screen you feel your life wasting away. You're like, you are wasting my time, move, where's my fave? It was like every weird character from the shows I used to watch was showing up in my dream, wanting to talk to me at some wacky ass coffee shop. But it was only the ones that were annoying me. Only the ones that I had no interest in seeing. And I remember like poking them and prodding them for information, trying to find, well, where's the, you know, the other characters that I like? Where are those? And they would just like shrug me off like, oh, we don't know where they are. I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't know where they are? And suddenly, as they shrugged me off over and over and over again, and it seemed like the dream continued over like a span of like a day, where it was like multiple characters that annoyed me came in and talked to me, and every time I tried to prod for the characters I actually wanted to speak with, it was this defensive shrugging off, just and eventually that grew to, throughout the dream, more and more of a panic, weird thing gripping me that was like, no, where are they? Because now you're making me nervous. Where are they? Weren't they happening? And it felt like they were like real actual people that were in a, like in danger in some way, and this other people were acting as if their pain and their trial and tribulations matter not. When I was like, no, you don't matter to me. They really matter to me, so let's go find where they are. And so again, I woke up with that feeling haunting me for the rest of the day. The next dream I had, which was several days later, was me actually being down in this dark pit of a feeling that Persephone had recently pushed me into while I was meditating. And it was a lantern that was there. It was old-timey Victorian lantern, lit. It was nothing but surrounding darkness all around me, and I kind of recognized it a bit, going like, oh, we've been here before. And I just felt these cold hands grab my shoulders in a very like, they're going to push or project or pull or like, you know, direct me in some way, just whoop. And they felt very ominous. They felt very like a forcing of something that I maybe didn't want to do, didn't need to do, you know, something that could maybe bring me ill. And it was this weird guiding thing. But as it tried to move me, it was just like this slight shift into the point of like, I felt like I was getting seasick even in my dream. It's awful. Ugh. And the whole dream was just that. And then me staring at this lantern, which seemed to be just like slowly rocking in like the moving wind that was going on. And I was just staring at this one lantern in total darkness while this thing was trying to move me with these just claws. And that was that. And the dreams have kind of gone on from there. At least the ones that I've had recently in the past week-ish too have been more of family members popping up that I'm worried about, or more direct stressors. I have a lot of weird stress dreams about my tattoos. I can always tell when I'm feeling out of control when in a dream, I have a dream where I have a bunch of tattoos that I would never have picked to currently put on my body. And I have a very big panicky thing about like not being able to control what goes on my skin. those have popped up multiple times now, like repeat of the same dream, even though the tattoos always seem to change. It's always very weird. And always everyone around me is like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I mean, this is a big... I have a SpongeBob tattoo. I don't even... Why? Why? It's not for me. It's not my vibe. It's not what I would pick. If you would love a SpongeBob tattoo, good for you. Not for me. And not having the control over that, clearly my fear of lack of control over the massive situation. And there's other dreams like that I can kind of interpret and go, oh, this is my worry over a family member. Oh, this is worry over my own health. Oh, this is me stressing about the economy or the pandemic going on. My lack of control of the situation as a whole. But those earlier ones, the deep primal ones, this weird shifting thing, is not something that I've been able to pick apart in any way, shape, or form. And I'm kind of just letting them sit. Like, I'm kind of wondering if this is bringing up a new thing that I would love to dive in and pursue at a later date when the energies of the world at large have calmed down. Like, maybe these stressors have opened up a connection to a type of energy that I would love to explore, but I just haven't had the time to, and would really love the mental and emotional capacity to do so, but that time is not now. So comment down below, what weird ass dream have you been having, if you've been having any? Have your dreams changed? Have they not? Do you feel that they were affected by the overall energy shifts and stresses and, you know, overall, I guess, just anxiety that the world is feeling right now about all this uncertainty and whatnot? Leave all that in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.